Okay, welcome back. Today in this video I am going to download and install a new game in my Pinball Emporium. Now I'm sure you can find this information useful if you are using other front ends, but this is going to be specifically for Pinball Emporium. It's going to be basically a 2 video series on this, downloading this. The first I'm going to do is get the game downloaded and running, and then I will put together in a second video all the stuff you need for Pinball Emporium's front end, like the video marquee and the little image for when you're scrolling through the images to find the games in the front end. So anyway, without further ado, I've been after Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's a Zachariah 1981 table. I did a Google search for that table, and as you can see, I came up with 2 locations with 2 different outcomes. I'm looking for the table, and I'm also looking for the backglass. Now, sometimes you can go to VP Forums or VP Universe, and you can find both. I've already kind of researched this in advance and found that neither one has both. At least I couldn't find it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to VP Universe, where the backglass is, and you have to have an account and log in. I'm logged in already. And you basically hit download this file. I've already done that. But you hit download this file, and it does give you a delay of about 40 seconds. It'll give you a countdown timer. That's why I went ahead and did this in advance, to save some time. And after the 45 seconds or so is up, it lets you hit downloads. It also limits, like I'm down to 22. I may only download 22 more files this day. It does have a limit on those, but you can get quite a few files in one day. So, but I've already downloaded from VPUniverse.com. This is where you go to get, and I'll put a link in the description of this video to this site and where I got this today. This is the backglass. Now, VP Forums, same thing. You have to be logged in. I'm logged in here. You can see under Retired Rider. And you download the table. Now again, I've already downloaded the table, and I will take you right there right now to my download folder, and you can see, actually it was done late last night, so it was done yesterday, but there's Earth, Wind, and Fire zip, Earth, Wind, and Fire RAR, RAR file. One contains the table, one contains the backglass. Now, here's what I do, and everybody has their own way of doing it. It's just, for me, it's storage. I have a separate hard drive that's to a server on the network. It's kind of nice for me this way because I can play with the files here on my computer in my office, and then I also got the cabinet hooked up to the one of the cabinets is actually hooked up to the network, so I can just actually drag the files over that way. One of the cabinets is not, so I just put them on a thumb drive and take them over there and install them that way. But anyway, I'm going to open up my my server here. You can see I've got Pinball Emporium, new tables, and I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call this Earth, Wind, Fire. Now, I got that folder open. Now, Earth, Wind, and Fire. All I have to do here in this download folder is just click this, and you have to have Win 7 or 7-zip on your computer to take and unzip these files. So if you don't have that, look into getting that. I got 7-zip. So see, I can click on that file. Don't do it. Click it that way. Right click on it, and I can hit Open Archive. That opens the archive. Now, I'm just going to drag this VPX file over here and store it in that Earth, Wind, and Fire folder. Now I come back over here and I close that. Now I can click on the RAR file, go down here to 7-zip and open this archive. I don't hit extract here, then it'll extract it there in my download folder. I just open that archive and drag it out of there and move it into here. Now it's nice in that folder right where I want it. Now to eliminate a whole bunch of junk on my computer, I'm just going to take and delete these two. There's no need to keep them. If you want to keep them, you can, but I end up with a bunch of junk on my computer. Now, what you can do from here is now I need to get them on my table and get them running. So you are going to go over here on my particular computer. C drive is where my Pinball Emporium and all my games and tables are held. So you have to know where your table files are. Now again, mine is under Pinball Emporium because that's what I work with, under my root of C. You may have it on D, you may have it on another drive, you may have named it something else, but mine is under Pinball Emporium. Now once you're in Pinball Emporium, they pretty much all should be the same. Your tables are stored under emulators. These are visual pinball, VPX tables, so visual pinball. And then you'll see your tables folder here. You're going to take these two files, grab them, and drop them into your tables folder. Now that you've got them in the tables folder, you can open that tables folder up and check and make sure that Earth, Wind, and Fire did show up. If I can get going the right way here. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Now, here's the next problem you'll run into, and I probably should have done that up here first. Take the table folder. This is very important. And click on it lightly until it highlights the name of the file. Right click and hit copy. Then click on your direct B2S file. Click on it to where it highlights it like this. Right click and hit paste. Those have to be named exactly the same. I should have done that before I dragged it over here. Since I already did, I got to do the same thing over here. I've got to come over here to Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I'm going to do the direct file first. I'm going to hit paste. I'm going to hit paste. Now, those have to be named exactly the same. And you can look at them and they look like they're the same, but if there's a period, a comma, a space in there different, they won't work. They have to be the same name. So with that being said, I can run this now from this folder without running the front end of Pinball Emporium just to make sure they work. So I'm in my Pinball Emporium, emulators, visual pinball under tables, and I can hit my double click on the VPX file. It'll load visual pinball. And this way you can check before you do a whole bunch of other work and make sure it works. Now, as you can see, this thing's working. Now, most of these games are set up where D, and we'll get into this in another video, but D is, on most of these visual pinball, is to add a coin, your D button, and you use your joy key to make those adjustments on your table. And C starts the game. So C is working, and enter key launches the ball, and the shift key is fire. Again, when I get this on the cabinet or have a controller hooked up, I've got joy key to match this. So there you go, folks. This one is installed. You hit escape. It brings up this menu up here on your play field. Just use your arrow button to go down to quit the editor, and you close this thing up. Now, I have just installed Earth, Wind, and Fire, a Zachariah table on my system. Now, just to make sure that y'all see that this will work, I will open up Pinball Emporium. Now, it's not going to have your marquee video and all that, but you will be able to find it. I'll go control over to Visual Pinball.
Table loading.
Oh, I do that every time I hit enter to load it instead of shift to go to the next game. So we're just now loaded GoldenEye. And we'll escape out of GoldenEye. Now we'll go down and try to find Earth, Wind, and Fire. Now see these little icons that I'm getting that I will not have one of those for Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think it'll just have a generic one in there. In the next video I'll show you how to do. Okay, this is Earth, Wind, and Fire. Right now it's just showing that and Visual Pinball X, and I'll show you how we can do that. It's not showing the gameplay in the main front end, but you can hit enter and it will start the game. We'll make sure it's going to work okay. There we go. Loading some coins. And we begin to play. Escape takes you out of the game back to the front end. Now, I will tell you this. You notice this one did not have the external DMD on it. I'm going to give you a little disclaimer here. I'd already run through this once and taken that off. So watch my other video on how to get rid of the external DMD, because all it is a big black square on there that takes up a bunch of room and doesn't serve any purpose. So I did remove the external DMD off of this table before I ran this for you guys. So you will have to do that unless you want to leave it there, but I see no use for it. Thanks for watching. That's how you get a game downloaded for Visual Pinball X. Again, it's best if you have the table, the VPX file, and the Backglass file. I showed you how to get them, download them, and where to put them on your computer. And hope this works. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be back with some more tips and things on how to do stuff.